Hello guys, this is going to be a different video. I didn't make a script for this video and I don't think it will be heavily edited, maybe just some cuts, but yeah, it's going to be a different video. It's just something I think I should put in a video and just have it on YouTube because maybe someone will come across it and maybe change his mind, maybe realize some things. First of all, I just want to say this isn't a video against everyone, not any specific person, not any specific YouTuber or influencer or internet personality, not at all. I'm just going to use the names of the people that were involved in here, but like I'm saying, this isn't like a personal attack or something. Many of you surely know Ola England. He's a Swedish YouTuber who has his own guitar brand, and he's one of the biggest, gear review channels in YouTube. And he is probably my favorite gear-related YouTube channel. I find him as my biggest inspiration right now because I want to be like at his level of quality production without compromising in entertainment value. So I decided that he will be the first YouTuber that I will help with my own money, that I will pay some kind of subscription or donation of some sort to help him and show him my support and all of those things. And you may know that one of the perks of paying that YouTube subscription with Ola's channel is access to his member-only Discord channel, where one of the mods is a guy that sometimes comes up on Ola's channel and has his own channel. I think his name is Robin, if I'm not wrong. And I can't recall exactly what it was, but I said something one day at the server that made Robin just dislike me. I can't remember, but whatever. I mean, I'm not a perfect person. I'm a bit of an asshole. People that know me know that I maybe say some inappropriate things at inappropriate times. So maybe some of that was what pissed him off. He didn't like me. I don't know for what reason, but maybe it was because one day I asked if I could use a simple 5-way switch as a super 5-way switch. I didn't know that was a thing. And he basically told me I was like, I can't afford a super 5-way switch because I don't have the means to get it, and I would have to get it from Amazon, and that would be just too expensive for my budgets. And he just told me basically to, just get a job. That was his answer. Just this really, as a Colombian or as a person from Latin America, from most countries of Latin America are, third world countries. But it always strikes me as odd when someone from Europe mainly, sorry, not that I'm trying to offend anyone, but it is mainly Europeans that I have noticed have these, mentalities. And some Americans too, that they just say to you like, just get a job, just go outside and get a job. I wish it was that easy. I mean, if it was that easy, I would have gotten a job maybe like a year ago when I got out of high school. But sadly in my country, it's just isn't the case. It isn't that easy to just go out and get a job. So I got a little bit triggered because, it's kind of shitty in my opinion when someone from Sweden or Germany or Italy or Slovenia or whatever country you may think just tells you to basically stop being poor. It's like that video of that girl like, oh my god, these homeless people, why just don't you get a house? Is what I felt, because that's basically what they were saying to me, without considering that maybe I have been looking for a job. I am in the process of applying for a job in a call center. It always seems odd how people mainly from Europe and the US, first world countries, just can't get into the perspective or in my shoes or the shoes of whatever guy there is on in my situation. And before anyone tells anything in the comments, I'm not trying to make a victim of myself. I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so poor, I'm so sad, please help me, send money. That's not what I'm saying at all. By my country standards, I'm not poor. I mean, I'm recording this at 180p in a phone. I have a computer that was a gift, but still I have the opportunity to have a smart TV and a good amp and good guitars, a decent room. I have my own bed. I have a nice chair, nice clothes by my standards. So I'm not trying to make this video to pity someone and make them feel sorry for me. That's not my point. It's just that these guys just can't, for the life of them, just get into the perspective of someone who may not have as much financial opportunities as them. So yesterday I posted a picture of AliExpress checkout about, spoiler alert, I will be doing a Moore GE100 review. And I said if I should get it, and this guy Robin, he said no. And paraphrasing, I just didn't have the screenshots and I have left the YOLO server. He basically said like, no, don't get a Moore because that's shitty and you won't get a good sound out of it. And I was like, then why do I do it? Like, that's my budget. I only have like 70-80 bucks for this pedal. And he was basically saying like, oh, just get an interface and get this plugin. I don't remember what it was. And someone said like, oh, that still would be maybe slightly expensive. And I said, no software is expensive if you torrent it. And some emojis like, oh, this is, a joke. And he, mentioned me and said that's illegal. And I found it pretty funny, like, he was telling me, a guy, that it's clearly referencing, torrenting, and, like he was enlightening me, like, don't do that, that's bad, that's illegal. I know. And I have a little bit of a confession to make. I have a lot of torrented stuff in my PC. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's mostly all to early 2000s games. I just don't have the money to get them. It's just what it is. I have no physical way to get them new. What can I tell you? If you think that's bad, I'm sorry. It's just that I just can't afford getting all these games. And yeah, they are a lot of games, but I don't know what to tell you. In my country, that's a normal thing. Like, people sell pirated movies on the streets and pirated music and pirated games, obviously, for the PS2 and the Xbox 360. It's just the way I grew up. For a middle-class Colombian family, going to the movies or to a cinema, that is like a big family thing. It's not like, oh yeah, just let's go to the cinema, whatever. No, it's like something you have to mildly save for. It's a commodity, a luxury maybe. So I posted a picture of my game folder that has a lot of pirated games. And he got like, oh, you aren't that smart, are you? And I was like, well, getting good torrents is quite hard. And he muted me for, I think, 24 hours. Like I said, you can agree or disagree with me that torrenting stuff that you can't physically get anyway is bad or good. That's not the point here. And I went to him on the DMs and I was like, what rule I broke for getting muted? And he was like, oh, you were boasting criminal activities because you're a criminal. And I was just like stunned that someone called me a criminal for torrenting old games. Like, yeah, technically it's accurate. I am a criminal for torrenting old games, but and this guy just couldn't, like maybe get into my shoes. and say, well, fuck, I'm in Sweden, this guy is in Colombia. Maybe it isn't as easy for him as it is for me. And he just said, well, if you can't buy the games, just don't get them. And I think that's quite a shitty thing to say, because it's basically saying like just people with money can enjoy gaming. If you are poor and your only way to getting games is torrenting or purchasing, illegal games, just don't do it. Just miss out on the whole gaming experience. He also, called me out on reselling AliExpress stuff, which I guess is something that some people could get angry about. The thing is that, yeah, I resell a lot of stuff. That I'm not going to lie on that. Many of the stuff that you have seen that I've reviewed, except for my punk rock maybe, I have resold. That's what I do. That's where I gain my money. I purchase instruments, I fix them, I set them up, or when it is from AliExpress, I just buy them and sell them. Why? Because many of these things I sell here aren't for sale in my country. Like, you can't get them from a retail store. And either way, I am selling for much cheaper, much cheaper than when a retail store sells. So when I said I was going to get a Moore PE100 and sell it and work my way to the 150 and maybe someday the 200, he just called me out and said that's shitty and that I'm not helping anyone and that I'm a horrible person, whatever. And that's the thing. If you are watching this video and you are from Europe or from the US, you have to understand that if you come by a person from a third world country that does the same thing as me, it's probably because he just can't get it the same way you get it. That's my main point. So I have some numbers here that maybe if he sees this video, I doubt it, and I don't really care, but maybe if someone from Sweden or anywhere from Europe can relate. So in Sweden, they don't have minimum wages. They don't have like a standard minimum wage. It's just based on the different kinds of job, and the leaders of those unions of workers just agree on, the set standard of those wages. So for example, I got like an example that is similar to my case. So for a guy or a girl in his early 20s with no experience or no education, I do have my high school degree, but whatever, working 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month in McDonald's as a cashier, the minimum wage in 2015, I'm getting these numbers, it would have been $1,650 US. Okay? Keep that in mind, $1,650 US. And in my country, Colombia does have a minimum wage. And in 2015, so these numbers aren't, fabricated, you can search them up on your own. In Colombia in 2015, the minimum wage was of $200. Right now, if we take into consideration, all the inflation and stuff, the salary is like $275. And maybe in Sweden it's gotten a little bit better. Maybe it's 2,000 or maybe it's like 1,300, whatever. But that's my point. If you are from Europe or from the US and you try to tell someone from the third world, just save. Oh, don't get a Moore. Moores are bad. Just get a Kemper or a Helix or this plugin or that gear, or just get a tube amp. What can I tell you? It's really difficult for me to get along with the idea that someone just flat out says, don't get that, just save up and get something better fully knowing that I can't save up for a Kemper or a Helix or a Tube Amp or whatever. Because I can't, because I'm a guy in his early 20s. I just can't. That's the thing you maybe have to consider when you're talking to someone from a different country and a different continent than you. We can't all get good gear. We are not all from Sweden. We are not all from Germany. We are not all from Italy or the UK or Spain or Portugal or Slovenia or whatever, or Russia. We are not all from the US. And some countries have it worse than Colombia. Some countries here in Latin America have worse minimum wages than my country. This is what I would get paid legally, working legally as a formal employee with a company or with a small business. Because in an informal job, I would be getting $10 a day for packing fruit bags into the back of trucks for maybe 5 or 6 hours. $10 a day. Or even less. That's just a number that I'm making up in my mind, but considering the dollar is so high, it's probably more or less closer to $5 to $6, which is 20,000 Colombian pesos, which is maybe the standard that you get paid here for an informal day of job. Have a little bit of perspective. That's all I'm asking. And when you see a young guy in his early 20s in a third world country making gear reviews out of AliExpress pickups that are worth $20 the set and guitars that don't pass the 200 mark new, with his phone editing them in a computer that was a gift that he couldn't have gotten otherwise. And it wasn't a gift from my parents, it was a gift from my sister-in-law. Maybe have that in mind, that we can all get good gear. That is basically all I have to say. Again, this isn't an attack on anyone, really, not anyone in specific, because just like Robin, there have been many people I have encountered on Discord servers, on Reddit, on YouTube comments, on my own comments that are just like, get better stuff. So that was basically what I wanted to make of this video. Just to tell you, my lovely first world friends, to just get the idea that we can't all get good stuff. That maybe if I have, a mid or low tier, as many of you consider my gear is for a reason. And I have worked very hard for the things I have. Yeah, my guitars were gifts from my mother and my girlfriend, but they still worked their asses to get me these things. And I got my amplifier by myself. And many of the guitars and gear that I have reviewed here, I got it from working with my girlfriend in my store. So that was pretty much it. Bye.